Hi, I'm Christopher
Hi,
Sapp.
everybody. This is Bob
Hey guys,
Bergen.
this is Stephanie Shea.
Hey, I'm Veronica Taylor.
Hey, everybody. This is Billy
Hey
West.
guys, I'm Ryan Colt Levy.
Hi, this is Kyle
Hi,
Aber.
this is Kira Buckley.
Hi, I'm Jameson Price.
Hi, I'm Sean Chiplock.
You are listening to Two Dads.
You're listening to the
Two Dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads
And
and
a
a
podcast.
A couple of dads on a podcast.
Yes, I feel powerful.
We're back
Yes.
with another Two Dads and a Podcast. I don't know why we introduce it like that every single time.
I don't. What do you mean? We're back?
Or like, welcome to another episode of Two Dads. Like, of course, it's another episode of Two Dads and a Podcast. That's what we're doing here.
It's what we've done for a year and a half now.
That's fair. That's fair. But what we haven't done yet is our today's topic.
No, that's
We've
kind of the point of the show, is to not do the same topic over and over again.
What?
Today. So we've talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Before in the past. Obviously, neither one of us really collect it physically, but we have played
it's been a long time.
The game a ton through random handhelds.
And consoles too. You know, I play on the PS4 with the Legacy of the Duelist, one of the more recent ones. Not too long ago, they just released the free-to-play one that has like everything in it. It's a little obnoxious.
Oh, yeah.
More recently, at the beginning of May, or was it beginning of May? Sometime in May, was the most recent Forbidden and Limited list that they just updated, and it had some big surprises on there, and that's kind of, at least for me, why I was like, yeah, let's do this, because there were some cards that have been banned for 17, 18 years, like Change of Heart and Yata Garasu, that were moved.
Yeah, they're back, baby.
They're back.
They're back.
Because the power creep of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gotten so ridiculous, they're no longer strong.
It was fun because often, as we were discussing earlier, there are often times where there are cards that aren't banned for 2, 3, 5 years sometimes, or they come back and go again, because as the meta changes and as new cards and, like you said, the creep and different types of summons have crept into the game, certain cards that weren't very broken at first are now like,
oh yeah,
well, holy shit!
It happens with Magic the Gathering and Pokemon too, where they release these new cards and they don't really think about how it's going to interact with some of the old stuff, and then you get these super combos that are like, wait a second, we can't let people do that.
You get these crazy common cards that were only worth pennies that are now suddenly changing the entire game.
$20, $30 now.
And for this card game, like you said, there's also the vice versa, where the power creep has also made some of these banned cards or forbidden cards a little weaker now and able to be introduced back in. But then there are some
Change
cards
of Heart and Yata Garasu. Yata Garasu was one of the craziest ones, because one of the combos, you could literally just lock somebody out from drawing cards for the entire rest of the game.
Well, then there are some cards that will just always and forever be broken in the format. We're going to jump off there with your number 5, sir.
My number 5 is easily one of the ones that will always be on the forbidden list, because it's stupid, honestly. Why would they even print a card like this? I don't know. But they printed it back in 2003, and I
loved it. I love
Victory
that game
Dragon.
Too. Oh, yeah.
This card is stupid. It can't be special summoned, and to tribute summon it, you have to tribute 3 dragon-type monsters, which seems pretty tough because, dragon type monsters usually take a little bit more to get onto the battlefield.
Right.
If this card attacks your opponent directly and reduces their life points to 0, you win the match.
Yeah, it's
not
the
game,
I win card.
The match. It literally is the I win. You're playing with a 5-year-old and they're making up rules to the game, and just I win.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like, because game 1, if you have this card out and swing, that's it. You don't have to play any other games. You win.
I love the foiling they do on Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. It looks really cool. Really intricate. No, that's a great card. There are these forbidden lists. There are way more forbidden monsters on these lists mainly because of the effects that are attached to some of these monsters are just insane. And that being one
Definitely.
of them. My number 5 is one of it's an older card, obviously, but it was one of my favorites, and it's Card of Safe Return. So
Oh, nice.
this spell card is when a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, you can draw a card. And
It seems
nowadays,
so simple. It seems so simple. But special
Yeah.
summoning from your graveyard is so easy now.
there are decks that run just specifically
Purely off of your graveyard. Yep.
Yeah. So that's why this card is now insanely just broken. You can ramp up your hand so fast with this, with some of the decks nowadays, and it's crazy. But back then, I loved playing this card.
Man, I still love playing
format.
it in the video games because the video
Yeah.
games, they don't limit anything. Like I was
Right,
running
right.
a deck because Exodia is limited. One of every piece of Exodia can go in your deck. That's it. But in the
Yeah.
video games, you can have 3 of every one. You can have 3 of like every banned card you could want to throw in there. It's kind of stupid, honestly. I love it. It's
Right.
it's just ridiculous.
So what are you at for number 4?
My number 4 is another monster that is just way too overpowered, especially with the format the way it is, but it was overpowered when it came out. Let's be honest here. It's a level 1 monster. It's Magical Scientist.
That was a good one.
Pay 1,000 life points to special summon 1 level 6 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck in face-up attack or defense position. It cannot attack your opponent directly, and it's returned to the extra deck at the end of turn. It seems like it has a major backside to it, but no. You get Catapult Turtle out there, you win in 1 turn. The second you get Magical Scientist and Catapult Turtle out, you win. You pay 1,000 life points, bring out a level 6 monster with 3,000 attack,
Right.
catapult it. That's 3,000 damage. Oh, let's bring out another one. Catapult it. Bring out another one. And you win by spending 3,000, 4,000 life points, which is nothing. That's half of your life.
Yeah, no, that's not going to break you in the end. I love these ones where it's like, anytime it tells you to sacrifice 1,000 or less life points, I'm like, okay.
Done. Take me down to 50.
Let's get
Let's
that
go.
out there. Right.
What's
no,
your
you're
number
absolutely
4?
right. That
What-
one's crazy. My number 4 actually plays in really nicely with my number 5 with a safe return, and that's Painful Choice. You select 5
Ooh.
cards from your deck. So obviously you're choosing your best 5 monsters if you're running a graveyard summoning deck, and your opponent selects 1 card from them, and you add that to your hand. So what are you going to do? You're going to load up your hand with cards that you can get back from your graveyard really quick, and it doesn't matter. They've just given you all of those cards, essentially.
Well, and not
And
just
then-
that, it doesn't even have to be a graveyard-based deck. Filtering 5 cards out of your deck that you may not want is fantastic.
That's fair, too. But, I mean, if you're playing, like, no limits, like on the video game you're talking about, and you run mine 5 and my 4 together, you're summoning your best monsters, plus drawing a card every time you do it. That's a deal right there.
Oh, yeah.
It can get ridiculous. There's a reason
really
why this
can.
card is banned.
The-
I just really love it. The simplistic like effects that this had on the game, I thought was fantastic.
Some of the banned cards, some of the forbidden cards are just that. They are extremely simplistic in their nature, but when comboed with other things, they break the game. It's kind of obnoxious. One of those, of course, being my number 3, Cyberjar.
Oh, I love Cyberjar.
It's a
Love me some
basic-
Cyberjar.
It's a level 3, 900 attack, 900 defense. It's nothing, but it's a flip effect. And its flip effect can be so powerful. It can completely turn the game.
Who the fuck at Konami was like, jars are obviously the strongest thing in the world?
They really did too.
Because all of the fucking jar cards are ridiculous.
And not all of them are forbidden, but there's quite a few. And then there's quite a few that are limited as well. But Cyberjar is probably one of the more powerful ones with its effect. Flip, destroy all monsters on the field. Doesn't matter if they're face down, face up, doesn't matter. Destroy them all. Then both players reveal the top 5 cards from their decks. and then special summon all revealed level 4 or lower monsters in face up attack position or face down defense position.
Yeah, so you've just created this scenario on the board where there's no defense happening at this moment.
And not just that, you can completely have a full deck based around powerful level 4 monsters. And you get this out there, you flip it, and you're special summoning 4 or 5 level 4 monsters immediately. If they have other flip effects, say you gotta, if this were completely no holds barred, you got another Cyberjar, or you've got the Fiber Jar. You've got so many different things going on. And any cards that aren't monsters that get summoned go into your hand. So regardless of whether you get anything out, this is a 5-card draw off of a flip.
Yeah. So I love these type of cards that sort of destroy and disrupt. My number 3, I'm going with Delinquent Duo.
That's a really good one. Another 1,000 life points.
Pay 1,000. Your opponent discards a card at random, and if they have any other cards in your hand, discard one more card of
one more of their choice. Yeah. It's
this.
You play 1, your opponent discards 2. They only have 2 cards in their hand. That's it. Their hand is gone. If they have 3 and they have one of their combo pieces, that could be gone because it's discarded at random. And then they have to get rid of one of the other cards. Like, this is huge disruption. And at the cost of only 1,000 life points, totally worth it.
Yeah. You're back. If you're backed into a corner early on, or you can tell they're setting something up, this is kind of like there are cards in Pokemon that do this really well now, like Marnie, where you just both players are shuffling their hands back in their deck. This is a way to sort of stop whatever they're fucking doing, so that
Magic
you have more
has
time.
Very similar cards and very similar structured decks that are based on drawing as many cards, getting these combos together, and if you're forcing them to discard combo pieces, you can completely disrupt the whole game.
Yeah, so I just like that one. It's kind of a blast from the past.
Well, my number 2 is also a major blast from the past. And I have to tell you, when I play this card, it allows me to draw 2 cards. And it's Pot of Greed. And Pot of Greed, when played, allows you to draw 2 cards from your deck and put them into your hand.
That is my favorite card of
Look, it's my favorite card to allow you. Card. It's my favorite card that allows you to draw 2 cards and put it into your hand.
I was going to choose that for number 3.
Half of the reason I have this up at so high at number 2 are the memes and the cartoons, the TV shows. Every time they would play this card, they would describe exactly what it does. Kaiba would be like,
it's like the shortest sentence.
Pot of Greed that allows me to draw 2 additional cards. Next, I'm going to play Pot of Greed. It allows me to draw 2 cards from my deck and put them into my hand.
Way to make a 5-word text box drag out for 3 or 4 sentences.
It's not even a 5-word text box. It's literally draw 2 cards. It is a 2 words and a number. Draw 2 cards.
I love that card. It's my favorite card. Not my favorite.
Honestly,
it's one of them. It's top 5.
I get why this is banned. And it seems so simple. Draw 2 cards. Why is playing 1 card, drawing 2 so strong? Okay, so not only does this technically dig you 3 cards into your deck because you draw this, then you draw 2 additional. So that's filtering your deck out further. It also gives you a +1 card advantage. Usually draw card stuff there's a downside. You have to pay life points, you have to sacrifice a creature, whatever it is, and then you can draw 2, or it's draw 3 and discard 2, whatever, there's different effects like that. This is just straight draw 2 cards. And everybody knows in every card game, card advantage is king. You get card advantage, you are going to get up on your opponent so fast if you can draw additional cards. And Pot of Greed allows you to draw 2 additional cards.
Yeah, except in Pokemon, where they've just kind of thrown the rules out completely when it comes to drawing. And
this was one of the first cards in the game. This was one of the first cards in the original set, back with the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon.
That's why it holds so much nostalgia in my heart.
That, and it was last printed in 2015, so they haven't printed it. It's been forbidden for so long that they're just, they put it in some of the legendary collection decks and, the structured decks that aren't for tournament play. It's just more nostalgic based. So they had them in those, but I don't know. I really enjoy drawing two cards from my
jar,
deck.
but it's jar adjacent.
It is. It's a pot. It's
They
very
love
similar
their
to a jar.
pottery. They love their pottery. I don't
Especially
understand.
pottery that allows you to draw two cards.
So my number 2 is another pottery. It is, you've mentioned it. It is the fiber jar.
Fiber jar. This was so
This
close to
one-
my list.
This one is a full reset. Each player shuffles all the cards from their hand, field, graveyard into their deck, draw 5 cards. Complete
Full
reset.
Reset. This one's kind of obnoxious because it
scorched
includes
earth,
itself. Like you said, it's everything. And unless cards were removed from play, those ones stay out of play. If you're down to 50 life points and your opponent still has 8,000, this is a reset. This gives you a chance to get back on the board and take advantage.
That's the type of annoying fucking move that I would like to make.
It really is. It is true control. This is one of those, if you're in the lead and your opponent starts to pop off, nah, let's reset.
So
We're not doing this.
what did you rank up at a number 1 there?
My number 1 is probably the most annoying card, and it should be right up your alley. It's a trap card.
Love me some trap cards.
This one, it's stupid. It's so stupid. It's the self-destruct button. It is self-destruct button. This is one of those cards. If you're playing, just casual, whatever, no holds barred, you throw in there because shit, I'm losing. I don't want to lose. We're going to draw. It's an automatic draw. You can only activate this card while your life points are lower than your opponent's life points, and the difference is 7,000 points or more. Both players' life points become 0. Self-destruct. Self-destruct, but I'm taking you with me. This is
draw.
Honestly, it's not hard to do. This is one of those that you would just troll your friends with. It's not difficult to do. You play a true control. You're limiting them down with Swords of Revealing Light. They can't attack. They can't get to your life points. You use things that give your opponents life points. So you don't necessarily have to lose them. And then you self-destruct.
I mean, they made it obvious, like, you couldn't keep that in the meta. You couldn't keep that in play.
No, because when this was in play and this was being used, it was just that people would be losing. And they're like, no, I don't want to lose. We're just going to draw. It's just a forced draw situation.
Fun, right? I do love that. Thank you for putting that as your number 1.
Look, man, I put it as my number 1 just because of how annoying this card is. Is it the most broken card? No. Is it going to piss people off every time you use it? Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's the type of card I like. So my number 1 is Ass Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. I added a little flavor at the beginning of that.
Did you?
This card is just ridiculous. It's obviously, so you're running a fire deck at this part, or dragon. So its
Blaster.
attack is 2,800. Its defense is 1,800. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can banish a total of 2 fire and or dragon type monsters from your hand and or graveyard, except this card. Special summon this card. During your opponent's end phase, if this card was special summoned, which it was, it's the only way to summon it.
Well, you can tribute summon it. It doesn't say it can only be special summon. So you can tribute summon it, but it's pointless to do that.
Right.
Because you're losing its effects.
Return it to the hand, so it's coming right back. You can discard this card and 1 fire monster to the graveyard, then target 1 card on the field, destroy that target. If this card is banished,
take a breath.
Add 1 fire dragon type monster from your deck to your hand.
You can only use 1 Blaster Dragon Ruler of Inferno's effect per turn and only once that turn. This card,
ridiculous.
This card, printed in 2013, this is, I can't say for a fact, but this is one of those cards that we've talked about in the past that just has a whole wall of text, and you're like, I don't feel like reading this. I don't care.
I can't get through it without laughing because it's just so ridiculous everything you can do with this card. Because if you're playing it,
different effects.
If you're playing it, it just keeps coming back to you and keeps coming back to you. But you can also fucking tribute this motherfucker to draw the best card out of your deck into your hand. And it's not a shabby motherfucker itself with its 2800 attack.
It is not.
And it can just do whatever and then come right back. It's like
Oh, but it gets better. They didn't ban. They didn't
destroy. You can destroy any card.
destroy any card with it. Bring a fire
the
dragon
field.
type monster from your deck to your hand.
Not
it
even your
allows you to
opponent's card.
summon it from,
Any card
from
on
your
the field.
graveyard.
You can destroy your own card if it fucking benefits
Destroy
you.
your own card. Destroy
Any.
face down spells or traps. Destroy
Oh
field
my
spells.
gosh.
But what makes
It's
this even
crazy.
funnier is this card is forbidden, but
Yeah.
Burner, Dragon Ruler of Sparks, is not, which is essentially one of the ways to special summon in Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. Yes, I'm going to say the name every time. Because with Burner, you can discard this card in one dragon type or fire monster, special summon one Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos from your deck. So not only do you have this crazy card that has all these different effects, but you also have a card that allows you to special summon this in another special way directly from your deck, whereas before you could only do it from your hand or your graveyard.
And then it was still special summon, so it still returns to your hand. You still keep it.
Yeah, you still get all those crazy effects. Yeah, it's this is a really
It's
fun one.
fun.
This is
Yeah.
one of those ones that's truly busted. Whereas a couple of mine were Magical Scientist, Victory Dragon. Those are truly busted.
Yeah.
My number one, annoying. Your number one, forbidden for a reason. For a very
Can't
good
fuck with
reason.
the ass blaster. All right. Well, that was our Yu-Gi-Oh fun. I love casually playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so I like doing this one.
We've talked about this before. My favorite thing with Yu-Gi-Oh is to play the video games. Especially, I really, really like the Legacy of the Duelists, the most recent non-free-to-play game.
Right.
It's fantastic, and it allows you to just use however many of these forbidden cards and stuff as you want. So you want to do the Yata, I don't know if Yata Garasu's in there, but if it is, and you wanted to do the card draw lock, that's it. In previous games, if I'm not mistaken, the Yata Garasu, which is now back to limited, with that one, if you got that combo out onto the battlefield, the AI would just straight up concede. Like, that's how messed up that combo is. They're just like, yep, I can't win. You win.
So if you have a favorite banned Magic the Gathering card or just any
Magic the Gathering.
Wait, we're in Yu-Gi-Oh now, aren't we? Do you have a favorite?
Back up, rewind, restart.
So if you have a favorite banned Yu-Gi-Oh card or just a favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card or deck or whatever altogether, reach out and let us know.
You can do so on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all at 2dap2020. You can email us at 2dap2020@gmail.com. And as always,
Next time on Two Dads and a Podcast.
Next time on Two Dads and a Podcast, we're going to
talk about something. We really need to plan these things out a little better so we can have something to say at the end of these.
You know what? It is hard to plan some things out when sometimes we're trying to
catch
whatever
up and
is catch up, but also like whatever, like doing whatever's currently
is relevant,
sort of
relevant.
So I don't know.
Maybe we'll do something Marvel related because June 22nd, Multiverse of Madness is dropping on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, that is the time to watch it. It's fantastic.
Oh, is it?
Fantastic.
I still have to watch the Spider-Man.
Oh, yes, you do. So maybe we'll do something Marvel. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
I do have Spider-Man villains on here.
That's a good one.
Ambiguous Marvel villains.
Should we create our own Sinister Six when we do that and not do a top 5 and do 6?
We can. I also have Towers. Favorite Towers.
I don't know why. Like, I actually enjoy that topic. I think that's a great topic.
But at the same time, you're just
silly.
You're just talking about real estate.
But we'll figure this out, guys. Keep an eye out. Keep an ear out. And until next time, thank you so much for listening.
Have a nice day, you guys.